Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub. It is Tuesday, January 25th. Pub Sports Radio, Ian Cameron, Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, and thrilled for the first time on the NBA Pub Hub to bring Jay Money in as a special guest joining us on this Tuesday, filling in for Billy Briz, who won't be with us this week. We are thrilled to have Jay. Jay, you're the special guest today. We'll start with you. Great to have you on the show.
Hey, anytime, man. Anytime y'all ready. I told you, Ian. Hey, I DM'd you. Whenever y'all down to have me on the show, I'm come on. What's up with you, Dutch, Wham, my guys, man? Let's get some cash.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
absolutely. And this is a good Tuesday for Jay to be with us because this is a bigger Tuesday card. Usually we go to the buffet on a Tuesday in the NBA. We've got salad and we've got shit we don't want. 2-3 games, not much left on the buffet table on a Tuesday. Not today. We've got a bunch of games. We've got 8 games here on this Tuesday card. Let's start with the Clippers taking on the Wizards. We have Washington 4.5-point home favorites, 220 the total. In this game. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not in a rush to lay points with Washington right now. This team is just not playing good basketball. It's been a struggle during this recent stretch for them. 1-4 in their last 5 games straight up, and ATS, the only win against the Sixers. Other than that, lose at home is chalk to Portland. Lose at home is chalk to Brooklyn. Lose to the Raptors 109-105. I took Toronto in that game saying they're finally going to win a close game, beat this Wizards team. They did that on Friday night. And then Boston, they get absolutely steamrolled 116-87 in their last game. So Wizards are definitely struggling at the moment. You look at the lineup. Look, the excuses shouldn't be there for this team. Everybody's healthy. Dinwiddie, Beal, Caldwell Pope, Kuzma, that quartet, these guys have been in and out with injuries at some point this year. They're all healthy now. So the excuses, they're just not very good at the moment. They got everybody available. They should be playing better than this. That hot start they had at the beginning of the year, that's way in the rearview mirror now. They're not playing anything close to that. On the flip side, we've got the Clippers. They've been a team that I've been looking to fade a lot, but they're starting to play a little bit better. They got a road win at Philly, nearly beat Denver, took them to overtime in the Mile High City. Against the Knicks in the last game, valiant effort, but they lose 110-102. I'd look at the Clippers plus the points, to be quite honest with you, in this game. I actually think we see this game go over the total. Clippers are playing worse defensively, better offensively. Their offensive rating has gone up in the last 5 games. Their defensive rating has gone down. You look at head-to-head series, 6 straight overs between these two teams, and look at the scores. 136-104, 125-118, 150-125. I mean, all of these games getting into the 230s. Pretty much, and you've got 218.5, 219 with this total. I like it over the total, and I would lean Clippers as well. Dutch, we'll start with you here. Clippers, Wizards.
Yeah, man. Real quick, salute to the ladies, gents, and DJs for tuning in. You already know it's all love. Be sure to hit that motherfucking like button like I just hit that plane of orangutan titties, and it'll get you right where you need to be. Yeah, man. Also, share the video if you can on all outlets. Muchly appreciated. This game, Ian, I kind of agreed with you a little bit, but then I was looking into it. To be honest with you, I don't want to fuck with the Clippers either, man. They're 1-5 straight up, last 6 on the road, 2-4 against the number. They are 1-4 straight up, last 5 in DC. So I honestly probably could only look the Wizards here, but you touched on it. They got all their guys back, and they still ain't doing nothing. So you already know it's a clear backwood for me. Backwood, this motherfucker show. Yeah, man.
There you go. Backwood. First game on the card. Backwood already for Dutch. Wham, you like anything here?
Yeah, man, this is gonna be a backwood for me, but this is the first meeting for this the side. I'm not gonna lie though, the more I think about it, the more I do like the Washington Wizards, even though they're 3-7 at the house over the last 10 home games. I still think that they're the better team out there. You feel me? So they're the better team. They should be able to handle business here. It's just, do I trust this shit? I don't like the props. No, I don't like the Kuzma props. They got all their guys back. You're getting Thomas Bryant out there. We mentioned that before on the show here. So I'm going to stay away from it as well. I talked a little too much. This is a backwood for me. Put that up for me as well, Big Shaw. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, it's hard to fathom why the Wizards, now that they've got everybody back, are struggling still. But that's a problem. And right now, to me, laying points, it's tough to get there with them. Jay, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I'm staying away from this one. Simply put, what I got written down: Wizards 1-9 against the spread last 10. I'm staying away from this team. This is the last game of an 8-game homestand, so in theory, I would like to buy them here. But this they've been terrible at the house, and I'll go back to it. They don't have a true point guard, even coming off the bench. So this is basketball still. You can't have Dinwiddie and Beal running the point guard. These are two players that really play best off the ball. I really think that's a lot of the Wizards' problems over here. So it's Clippers or none for me. They've shown they can get down by 25 points and they never give up. So that's the type of team I'd like to have my money on. Not betting this game, but it's Clippers or nothing for me.
All right, Clippers are nothing for Jay. All right, Denver, Detroit. We've got the Nuggets 7.5-point road favorites here, 217 the total in this one. Nuggets laying 7 on the road. I don't know if that's something I'm really ready to dive into. And it's a weird spot, right? Denver just hosted Detroit a couple of nights ago. They were 11.5-point favorites at home. They only won by 6. 117-11. I'm telling you what, this Pistons team, they've been a sneaky little team lately in terms of covering point spreads. Certainly offensively, they've scored. Their defense still kind of not that great, but recent games, they covered at Utah, at Denver, at Golden State, they got blown out, and against Phoenix as well. But they've had some surprisingly good performances as well. They've been all over the map. They hang tough with Denver and Utah. They beat the Raptors. They beat the Jazz at home as big underdogs in those games. They also get crushed by Chicago and Golden State on the road recently. So they have been all over the place, the Detroit Pistons. And Dwayne Casey knows what it's all about, being all over the place with his lineups. Every night it seems like it's a different starting five. Jeremy Grant's still out. Kelly Olynyk's out. Frank Jackson's a game-time decision. We're looking at right now Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham, Hamidou Diallo, Sadiq Bey, and Isaiah Stewart being the 5 on the floor to start this game for the Pistons. The Nuggets, looks like, as usual, Will Barton's name has been on the injury list. He's a game-time decision tonight for the Nuggets in this one, although it looks like he's been upgraded to probable with the hamstring injury. So good news for them. We have seen some money come in on Denver here in this game. It is the Pistons returning home following a long road trip. That's usually a negative spot, but I'm still very, very hesitant right now in taking Denver laying 7.5 on the road, especially when they already beat Detroit. You're playing a bad team again. How motivated are you to just beat the snot out of the Detroit Pistons tonight? I'm not so sure. So I don't love the game, but I'd take the Pistons with the points before I lay it with Denver. Jay, we'll start with you on this one. Nuggets, Pistons.
Man, this game didn't even make my show, so this will be a backwood game for me. But you got the Nuggets here, first game on the road after 6 straight home games. Not necessarily a spot I'd like to back them, and they have the Nets tomorrow as well. So it's the first game of a back-to-back. No way in hell I'm betting the Nuggets here. Then you got the Pistons as well. They've been a doormat, even though they've covered 3 of their past 4. They're also coming off a West Coast homestand. Now they're back at the house for 1 game. Then they go on the road to Orlando again. So all over the place. Backwood game for me. Put it up there for me.
Yeah, this is one of those games. I might take a small bet on Detroit here, but this is one of those games. Detroit loses by 15. It's not a shock. If Detroit's right in the game down to the wire, it's not a shock because they have shown the ability to do that at times. And Denver's a little bit sketch to me in this kind of role. 7.5 laying it on the road. Wham, what do you think here? Denver, Detroit.
Yeah, man. As far as this Denver team, they're 19th in pace over the last 5 games, but they're 26th in defensive rating. They've been giving it up, though, bro. And they've been kind of efficient as well, 4th in efficiency. We know a lot of that has to do with Jokic. Guys been Monte Morris hitting his threes over 1.5 3-point pop has been pretty much money recently. But in this game, I'm only thinking over here and the Detroit side. I think the first half is probably the best spot over the last 10 games. In the first half, Denver has went over 8 out of those times, 8-1-1, getting a push there. I think Detroit pace is at 15th. Their defensive rating is bad as hell as well. They're dead last in defensive rating. So they, we talked about this every week. They're not a real good defensive team there, but they've been playing a little bit better though. Put that shit out there. Yeah. That's how their season started off. But they've been playing a little bit better offensively, though. Effective field goal percentage is at 16th in the middle of the pack. So it's kind of like a little bit above average for them. You know what I'm saying? So I like Detroit to score here. I think they cover the spot. They maybe even win outright, but I like the first half over 111. 111, I believe I got it at.
All right, first half over.
Sharpen up.
Look, and this one says Wham liking that, especially here in this game. Is that a Kyle Hamburg sighting in our chat? My gosh, Kyle in Atlanta, one of my
Shout
good
out to
friends.
Kyle. Yeah.
Know him a long time. Welcome in, my friend. Good to see you in the chat here on the NBA Pub Hub. Yeah, I mean, definitely, I think first half over is good. I'm going to probably end up pulling the trigger here, Detroit, with something here, plus the points. I like this kind of situation for them. They've been good as home dogs, too. Let's not forget that. Remember the Raptor game? They beat the hell out of the Raptors. That wasn't even competitive in that game. And then Utah as well. Very good performance as a home dog. So, and again, as Jay mentioned, the look ahead spot too for the Nuggets. It's not a Nugget spot when they got to play Brooklyn, obviously, tomorrow night. Dutch, what do you like here in this one?
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy THC RZA. Zachary, man, you said it, man. Back to back on these motherfuckers. Back with this bitch. That's all I got.
Back to
There we
back.
go.
To back.
We will
to
get
back.
a game where Dutch has something for you.
I got
Trust me.
something for that
It just
ass,
hasn't
but it ain't-
arrived
You
yet.
already know. You already know. That shit is
Don't make me
hilarious.
force shit.
Yeah. No, exactly. Especially this time of year. This is the meat of the NBA season. Halfway through the season, teams are dragging a little bit. Picking your spot's not always a bad thing. Do we have a spot worth looking at? Next game here, Charlotte and Toronto. We've got the Raptors, 2.5-point home favorites, 222 the total in this one. The Raptors, bad game against Portland. Kind of could see that coming. I did not take Toronto on Sunday against Portland. I took them Friday night against Washington. I said they're going to find a way to win one of these close games. Right there with Miami, right there with Dallas, right there with Phoenix. I mean, the Raptor team has been playing their tails off lately. They don't have any bench whatsoever. Nick Nurse is like this mad scientist, and he keeps putting in things that work somehow with this rotation. And, he's gotten everything he can out of this basketball team so far this year. Incredible job coaching by him. What else is new? I'm not surprised by that. But the Raptors were in a bad spot, right? The long road trip, came back home against Portland, and they just got way behind. And I'll tell you what, they were down by 34 in that game at one point, and they got to within like 4 points with like 5 minutes to go. The effort and the no-quit attitude of that team was amazing. Usually down by 34, what do NBA teams do? Just fold the tent and look to the next game. That did not happen with the Raptors the other night. So I think they'll want a good bounce back here, especially early in the game. So I would think a Raptors early look might be something here. First quarter, first half in particular. Charlotte, disappointing setback for them against Atlanta, 113-91 in their last game. Still playing pretty good ball overall when you look at it, but the injury to Gordon Hayward, of course, questionable. Missed the last game with a foot injury. We'll see if he's back tonight. Right now, the current report has him as a game-time decision, so we'll see how this one goes for them, for him in terms of his status in this one. This is an interesting one. You got Charlotte off a bad loss, Toronto off a bad loss. Both of these teams looking to bring it. I don't have a strong take on this one, just a lean maybe to the Raptors specifically early, because I know they talked about it. The bad start is something they don't want to see duplicated here tonight in this game. And for the Raptors, there is obviously a key injury concern. And of course, that's Freddie VanVleet. If you've been watching the Raptors broadcast, every time he makes a shot, Matt Devlin is saying Freddie All-Star because he believes he should be one with the way he's played this year. He's a game-time decision with a knee injury, and we know just how amazing he's been for the Raptors lately. 21.7 points per game. It's just been absolutely terrific for the Raptors this year, and would be a big loss if he doesn't play tonight against the Hornets. Wham, we'll start with you on this one, Hornets-Raptors.
Yeah, man. I'm kind of going head to head with you here, bro. I wouldn't want to step in front of the Hornets over the last 10 games. They covered they covered 8 of the last 10 first halves. That's kind of where I'm edging here. I think they start off a little bit hot in this spot. This is the way I'm leaning here in this game. This is a game that I did bet, and I am making it official now. I didn't have it official on Jimmy's show, so this is something I did just recently locked in. I think that this Hornets team continues to hold it down against the Raptors here, even though the Raptors kind of do match up pretty well with them. I remember here writing down that they covered the last 5 meetings, 4 in those 4 of the last 5 games in Toronto as well. I just think the Hornets just been playing really well. They won 7 of the last 9. The Raptors lose 5 of the last 7. Even though the Raptors have won at home 9-2, I believe, ATS in their last 11 games, it just seems like this could be a good spot for the Hornets here. So I like the Hornets. I like the bounce back for Terry Rozier over 19.5 points. He didn't have it last time. He had a bad game. Shot 0 for 6, I believe. I think he bounced back here again. So that's the way I'm looking here. I like the Hornets here, bro. That's the way I'm rocking.
Yeah, I think if you're the Raptors, key in on LaMelo. That's key tonight, obviously. Terry Rozier's been feeling it lately as well. Don't let that backcourt go off and beat you if you're the Raptors tonight. And, Kelly Oubre is one guy they need a little bit more from him. He's 4 for 22 shooting the basketball since he just came back. That's terrible. He just can't hit the broadside of a barn with anything he throws up at the rim right now for the Hornets. So that's an issue right now for Charlotte. We'll see if they get that step-up support for LaMelo and Rozier in particular here in this game tonight. Dutch, what do you think here, Charlotte-Toronto?
Yeah, man. I actually like the Hornets here. I think they're gonna go to Toronto, handle business. I got the 3-piece in the hooker with them. I seen it drop to 2.5, so I don't know if that's because Hayward's gonna be out there or with the what's going on. But I definitely like the 3.5. I think they go into Toronto and win. They got they don't have to worry about the fans. And I know Toronto, a lot of Wayne touched on a lot, but I wrote this bitch down, so I'm gonna repeat it. They are 6-1 ATS. The Hornets last 7 on the road against the number, 7-2 overall. Last 9 against the number, and they're 11-3 in conference, last 14 against the number, and they are 5-0 ATS last 5 meetings versus the Toronto Raptors. The Hornets got their ass whooped, against Atlanta. Hayward wasn't in the lineup. I'd like him back out there. I think you'll see the best of the Hornets. I don't mind it early, but I think they're the better team, so I'll stick with the full game. The Raptors, man, they're 2-5 straight up, last 7 overall straight up. They failed to break 104 the last 7 games. I think they're struggling, and then you tell you information about Freddie. Shit, that's music to my ears. If he's in or out, I still think the Hornets will handle business.
All right, liking Charlotte here in this one. Jay, how about you, Charlotte-Toronto?
Ian, I think you're on the right track here, man. I'm rocking with the Raptors here early, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, I took this game this morning before Van Fleet was questionable. With a knee injury, he probably don't play. We'll probably need Malachi Finn to be big because they don't really have a ton of guards. I'll be honest. The Hornets, they've been playing better on the road. They have the guard advantage here. But a couple of things I've noticed, some of these players coming back from COVID hadn't necessarily been the same. You've seen it with LaMelo Ball, and you're also seeing it with Kelly Oubre. Obviously, it'd be interesting to see if Hayward plays in this one. They do have a game in Indiana tomorrow. Both teams, this first game of back-to-back. That's why I think this is really going to be a toss-up. But I'm rocking with the Raptors here early to bounce back. They were down 45-15 at the end of that first quarter. They were down 64-34 at the end of the half. Like you said, Ian, this is a hard-nosed type of team. Any other team, probably most of the other teams would have laid down in this spot. They came all the way back to get it within 3 points, really had a shot to win that game. I think they moved that momentum into this game, and also a lot of the away teams hadn't really been ready to go into that arena with no fans. You have to bring your own energy, pick yourself up in that game. The Raptors are more healthier, more used to playing with no fans out there. So I think they come out here and bounce back. I'll be honest, I took them trifecta spot, first quarter, first half, full game. Van Fleet doesn't play, obviously won't be as good of a play, but I think the Raptors hop on them here early and keep it going all game. They're 6-0 against the spread, last 6 off of ATS loss. They're also 8-1 against the spread, last 9 off of a straight up loss. So I'm rocking with the Raptors here, the 6.
Yeah, this is one of those games where in terms of our crew here that we're split on this game, it's not surprising. You got 2 teams that are good teams, capable teams, both coming off bad losses. So I think you're going to get good effort from both of them. It's just about who's going to go out and play better tonight in this game when it's all said and done. 225 live viewers right now. Hit the like button. We appreciate it. Thanks for joining us here on the NBA Pub Up. Next up, one of the games of the night, Lakers and Nets. We got the Lakers 3-point road favorites, 226 the total. And the big news, of course, is the return of AD. We know that Anthony Davis returning for the LA Lakers at long last. They have looked like just a pathetic team, borderline horrendous team at times without him. We'll see if his return sparks this Laker team. You know what you're going to get with him back in the lineup. Obviously, you're going to get his dominance in the low post, rebounding, defense, rim protection, offense, but especially defense. He's going to make the Lakers haven't played a lick of defense for months. It's not a coincidence that the Lakers have been a bottom tier defensive basketball team since Anthony Davis has been out. So he is going to make them better at that end of the basketball court. So, but he has been out for a while. Is he going to be ready to rock and roll and be at 100%, and play at his highest level right away? His last game was December 17th. So it's been a while. It's been over a month since we've seen Anthony Davis. So you wonder about that. I do think this could spark the Lakers. Look, they need a spark in the worst way in some form. You got Charles Barkley ripping them on TNT, calling them old geezers. That this would be a great team in 2010. I think that's one of the best lines I've ever heard. You're right, Dwight Howard in his prime. Think about it. He's right. I mean, this would have been a hell of a team in 2010. Dwight in his prime, Carmelo Anthony, much younger in his career, prime LeBron James in 2010. I mean, he's right. It would have been an absolutely amazing Laker team. They would have won championship that year probably with Dwight and Carmelo and LeBron at that time 12 years ago. So he's right when he said that. I think tonight, though, having AD back could spark the Lakers. I really believe that here. I think it kind of sets up well for them. Brooklyn has been kind of a disappointment. Even though they're 29-17, it's still a good record. It's a disappointing 29-17 because you expect better from this team. They lost to Minnesota 136-125 in their last game. Lakers are coming off the loss to Miami. Brooklyn's not been good at home. I mean, how many times have we said this about the Brooklyn Nets? For the most part, their home record has been disastrous. Prior to finally beating New Orleans, in their last home game, they have been an absolute money burner, and they have been just destroying your bankroll if you've been betting on the Brooklyn Nets at home. And of course, because this is in Brooklyn, you won't see Kyrie Irving tonight because of the vaccine restriction, which is going to keep him out. Kevin Durant is also going to be out tonight for the Nets. So I think this is a winnable spot for the Lakers. I haven't done this a lot, but I am going to probably look toward the Lakers here. 3-point road favorites is probably their spot. And I think they do get a boost from having Anthony Davis back on the floor. Because look, now we're going to be able to see what the Lakers are truly all about. If they're still going to blow games in the fourth quarter, if they're still going to suck defensively now with Anthony Davis back, now we can say, you know what, this is the Lakers. But now at least they have their full complement back. They've got AD back. Now we're going to see if the Lakers, what they're truly all about. And we'll see if they're ready to step up. I think you get a good effort. I like Lakers here as a short road favorite in this one. Dutch, Lakers, Nets.
Yeah, man. I pretty much second everything you said there, Ian. I don't really like Brooklyn at the house, first of all. And now they've had 4 games with Kyrie in the lineup because the last 4 games have been on the road. They obviously didn't have KD. They get Kyrie in there. Now they get to playing with Kyrie and James, and now you take Kyrie out. Like I told y'all, when it goes back to the house, that's an issue. That's going to be an issue. Kyrie's just not, he's not a fucking role player. He's a superstar. So when you're taking a guy like that out of the lineup, it's going to cause some issues. And Brooklyn hasn't been good at the house in the first fucking place. So more than me wanting to back the Lakers here, this is honestly more of a fade of the Brooklyn Nets tonight. They're 1-7 ATS, last 8 at the house. They're 2-6 last 8 against the number versus the Western Conference, and they're 4-10 overall ATS last 14. So they've been an auto fade realistically, and these motherfuckers don't handle business at the house. They're 5-17 ATS at the house all season long. Now these two teams did play December 25th on Christmas, and without KD, they won as a 2.5 point dog. The Nets did in LA, kind of shit on LBJ's Christmas Day, right? With no KD, Harden went off 36-10 and 10. The last home game they did play without Harden as well. KD was only in the lineup for 12 minutes. He had 27, 8, and 15. So I am going to look for the Lakers here to handle business. But like I mentioned to the boys prior to the show, I'm going to hedge it a little bit because I believe James Harden's going to go off as well. So I'm going over 49.5 points and rebounds with James. I think that's going to be easy money. I think the only way the Lakers fuck around and lose this game is if James has an amazing game, which I do believe he'll still have a big game. But with AD coming back, come on, man. There's no reason why these Lakers shouldn't handle business. So just go in there and do what you're fucking supposed to do. Don't let this 2.5 get in the way. Handle business. Should be an 8 to 10 point win. Very easy, but also, like that points, rebounds, and assists with Mr. Fear the Beard.
All right. I think Russell Westbrook might be a good prop guy as well for the Lakers on that other side. There might be something to look at as well. I know he's been disappointing at times, turnover machine at times, but I think in these games sometimes like this, you see him, against the marquee names, marquee opponents, you sometimes see him play a little bit better. I think the points and assists might be something to look at for Westbrook tonight for me in this game with the Lakers. Jay, how do you see this one, Lakers and Nets?
Yeah, I like the Lakers in this one, man. I put some on them first half minus the one earlier. I might hop on that full game as well. Lakers, the only way I could look in this one. You get the revenge spot. The the Nets laid 2.5 on Christmas Day in LA. Now you got this line with the Lakers 2.5 on the road. The line is all over the Lakers here. It should be Nets coming up at the house. Obviously, no KD, but still the line's all over the Lakers. Road team 6-0 straight up and against the spread last 6 meeting. AD is back, right? Usually when the star player comes back, you want to fade the team. Not when you're the Lakers and it's your best player, one of your youngest players as well. They need them. I think they get a shot in the arm of some energy over there. Obviously, a lot of like the Kobe anniversary, all that stuff. I think it's a Lakers type of game here. Obviously, Nets get a first game back at the house as well off a 4-game road trip. It's a fade spot. So and Nets 6-17 against the spread at the house. It's a fade spot for the Nets. I'm gonna rock with the Lakers here tonight.
Yeah, I remember betting Brooklyn in that Christmas Day game against the Lakers, and I was just getting a little nervous down the stretch. And the Lakers were making a push in that fourth quarter. They got pretty close to the Nets there, and then they just couldn't execute down the stretch. And now, of course, AD back. I kind of feel like this is like I've not bet the Lakers much. I mean, I feel bad for Wham and Ski and Dutch. They've lost a shit ton on this team. They fucked around and screwed them over left and right. I have not, thankfully. I've pulled back the reins on betting this team a lot. I'm going to go in with them tonight, so don't let me down here, Lakers. Let's see. Wham, what do you think? Lakers down?
Yeah, don't let us down. Don't let us down, bro. Don't let us down. So yeah, man. I'm talk a little negative here, man, because we got a lot of Laker love here. The Lakers, bro. I'm on the Lakers. Don't get me wrong here, but let's just be real. They're definitely terrible on both ends of the floor. If you're only keying in on LeBron, he said it though. He's in the best form offensively he's ever been in his life since the 80s, you guys. Since the 80s, since out the coaching, this is the best he's ever felt. You know what I'm saying? This is the best he's ever felt. So I'm saying that to say this. These guys only played 195 minutes together. That's Russ. That's the guys I have behind me. Russ, LeBron, and AD. They only played 195 minutes. That's only 6 games if you've taken 31 minutes a game for those three. I think, man, it's just too premature to just write them off this yet. So I do like the Lakers. I did take them at 2.5. I took it at Jimmy's show at 3. I like the 4 as well. I think the line is moving in the right direction. I think the Nets is just terrible without KD. The offense will be stagnant here. And you mentioned it, man. Last game, it was a lot of Patty Mills, bro. Patty Mills is the first person to get fucked over when Kyrie's in and out of the lineup. So his rhythm may be a little bit off here. They may be keying in on his ass as well because he fucking torched them last game. I like the Lakers here a lot. So I just think if LeBron's anything as far as what he's been over the last few weeks, and you just get a splash of AD, just maybe even a decoy AD, you're going to get these guys to open up a little bit more of the offense. So I do like the Lakers here. And yeah, man, Lakers, bro. Let's get it.
All right,
Let's
Lakers
go.
it is for Wham. And you're right. It's just we don't know how great Anthony's going to be tonight, first game back in over a month. But you're right. Just his presence on the floor, you got to pay some defensive attention, and it could open up things and open up space all over the floor for a lot of his teammates. Maybe it's more room for, LeBron. It's more room for Ariza. It's more room for Russell Westbrook, Bradley. Go on down the list. It just opens up things now that they got to focus more on AD, just him being back. On the floor. Sacramento and Boston. We've got the Celtics, 8.5 point home favorites, 220.5 the total in this game. Sacramento, of course, continues to struggle. They've lost 3 in a row, 2-8 straight up their last 10 games, which isn't very good. A couple of these losses just downright horrendous. Favored against Houston, can't beat them. Favored against Detroit, can't beat them. That's where we're at with Sacramento. Now, they did battle Milwaukee last game, 133-127, but still difficult to trust this group. There's still not a lick of defense being played from the Kings right now. 133 to the Bucks, 133 to the Pistons, 118 allowed by the Rockets. I don't know about laying the 8.5 here. I think what I might do here is a Boston over 114.5 with their team total. I think that might be the best way to go. I don't want to worry about laying the 8.5, because Celtics, to me, laying big points is still shaky. But they're coming off, destroying Washington. We've seen multiple examples lately of Brown and Tatum playing well in the same game, and that was an issue earlier this year. One guy would play good, the other guy would struggle. And KP, Kendrick Perkins, on television was calling them out, saying they got to start playing well at the same time in the same game. They've started doing that lately. I like the Celtics here, but I'm going to go a different route with it. I'm going to go team total over 114.5 with Boston here in this game. Wham, we'll start with you on this one. Boston, Sacramento.
Hey man, shout out to the people that know. If you know, you know. Shout out to MMA Locker Room as well. That's the bro. Shout out to THC, the RZA. I think it's Drake MMA. I appreciate you, bro. You already know they saying backwood though. Jay Mills, Jay Willis. I'm sorry, Jay Willis. He's saying backwood, bro. Chill. You know who playing today? You know what day it is. Halliburton Day, baby. You already know. First game back. What do you do? 5 from 8 from 3. 8 from 14, and then he got his 10 assists and then did all that offensive shit. He got his 10. He got to get his 10 first, then he did all that offensive shit. Got 12 assists. They ended up. We're going double Hallie plus 200. Come on now, it's available right now. I just looked at it. I said on Jimmy Show it's available. They took it off, but it's available now. Plus 200. Halliburton. I think he gets the 9.5 assists at plus money. I believe it's at plus 170 if I'm not mistaken. Man, especially better when you got your split guy, your guy that's just going to set the screen and split with Rashawn Holmes. This is going to be one of the easier ones that we see. I think the offense is definitely still running through him. I don't know what the fuck Daryl Morey's smoking. He should have pulled the trigger on the trade, the Ben Simmons shit. What the fuck is he off that damn Heisenberg blue crystal meth or some shit? Like, what are you doing, bro? What's going on? Like, Daryl Morey, you tripping. Halliburton Day, and I do like the 8.5 with the Kings. I think the Kings pull it off today as well. So Celtics definitely coming off a 50-point game against one of the worst defensive teams in the Washington Wizards. I think it's going to show a little bit better here when they got somebody that's throwing an offensive pack, and I like Hallie, man. So it's only right, bro. Kings and Hallie today.
Yeah, I'll always give someone a round of applause and a clap for a Breaking Bad reference for sure. No doubt about that. Dutch, what do you think here? Sacramento, Boston.
Yeah, man. I think it's gonna be Kings up. You already know. I told, like I said before, when these motherfucking Celtics played Boston, or they played the Blazers and were 8.5. I told you these motherfuckers don't belong being favored by anybody in the association by this much, and I'm going right back to it. I gotta stick with it. It worked out pretty fucking well there. I believe the Blazers won outright, so I'm going right to the window back again, man. We're going with the Kings, and I do want De'Aaron Fox out there. Say what you will about the motherfucker, I want him out there. Now, the Kings are 4-6 or 4-2 against the number last 6, 5-1 against the number last 6 on 2 days rest, and they're actually 5-0-1. ATS last 6 meetings versus these boys here. Now they're 4-1 ATS last 5 in Boston, so they like the trip to Beantown. I look here for the Kings to be in this game. I would expect the Celtics to win, but there's no fucking way you let 8.5 with this team. They're 0-5 ATS following an ATS win. Now they play down to their competition. They're 1-6 ATS last 7 at home versus a losing team, and 1-4 overall last 5 against a number at home. I fade the Celtics here. I expect Brown to do his thing. One of Tatum, one of them to get off. Smart do his thing. Schroeder, they could do their thing, but 8.5 is too damn many points. We'll go ahead and lock in the Kings at 8 and a hooker.
Yeah, it's because I could see them winning this game 115 to like 110 or something, not covering, but getting the team total. That's why I'm going with the team total. I think they should score on Sacramento. Well, I think we could make a little post-up move to the basket and score on the Kings right now. That's been Alvin Gentry stinks. Okay, this guy is a terrible coach. He doesn't ever coach defense. He just wants to play fast, and outscore you. He's never gotten. Has he had a good defensive team as an NBA head coach in his career? I don't think so. And that you just don't win that way, and that's going to be the issue moving forward here with Sacramento. Jay, did you get involved here, Kings and Celtics?
Yeah, I don't know about y'all, but I dropped 30 on them Kings right now, man. I don't know why the hell they got Gentry from New Orleans. You see what he's done in his past teams. Maybe assistant coach. What the hell are we doing, man? Maybe they need to have Doug Christie as the starting as the coach, man. Maybe even Jackson as well. They was playing a lot harder for Bobby Jackson and for Doug Christie. So get Gentry the hell out of here. I'm with you guys. I'm rooting for the Kings hard. I didn't bet this game. Dutch let you guys know about all the ATS trends. So the Kings, the only way I can look in this one. one. I hope they win the game outright so I can fade them tomorrow. You don't trust the Celtics laying 8.5 pretty much against anybody. They played a lot of ISO ball, not really team ball. They got Marcus Smart back, Robert Williams III. Be interested to see if De'Aaron Fox, little conehead ass, ended up playing. He tried to mess me out versus the Bucks, but we still got the cash. But yeah, I think this one, maybe wait on Fox. Be interested to see if he's gonna play. But regardless, I'm rooting for the Kings to win this one because I need them to. I hope they go all out so we can fade their ass tomorrow.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox is questionable, game time decision with the ankle. Damian Jones questionable, and it looks like missing in action again is going to be Chimezie Metu as well for the Sacramento Kings. Still dealing with that left knee injury, so he will definitely be out. The other two, Jones and especially Fox, right now, game time decision. We missed a game earlier because it was a write-in game, so we're going to do it now. New Orleans and Philadelphia. We've got Philadelphia 11-point home favorites, 212.5 the total. I'm going to just go right to Backwood here. That's the way I feel about this one. I cashed a best bet on the NBA Pub Hub yesterday with New Orleans -3.5 against Indiana. Lucky as shit, but I'll take it. I thought Karis LeVert got the back door for the Pacers with 2 seconds left, hitting that three when the Pelicans were up 5, cut the lead to 2. I thought they're not going to foul, probably just run out the clock, but there was a foul before time expired. Pelicans go to the line. They hit both free throws. They win by 4. And we get the -3.5 with New Orleans. So I'll take that money and run. As Steve Miller Band once said, I'm not getting involved in this game. A lot of points to be laying with the Sixers. Seth Curry's still out. Danny Green is still out. The good news is Matisse Thybulle just came back. That does help them, especially defensively. Just going to be a stay-away game for me. Too many points, although it's not a good spot for the Pelicans, right? Close win last night, back-to-back now on the road in Philly. Tricky spot, so I'm staying off it. Dutch, we'll start with you on this one. Pelicans, Sixers.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy Jay Peasy, Mr. Mark Nick. I see you, my guy Mo Harris. Yeah, I'd honestly probably look Philly first half here, but yeah, Backwood this bitch, please.
Woods time for Dutch. All right, Jay, New Orleans and Philly.
Yeah, I'd be looking towards the under in this one, man. Obviously, you got the whole fucking starting 5 out for the Pelicans here. Valanciunas, who's arguably their best offensive player, especially outside of Ingram. Ingram's out too. Josh Hart's out. You got Devontae Graham out as well, man. So I don't know who the hell scores for the Pelicans here. Heavy lean to their team total under. I put a little something on the under 214. It's down to 212.5. Under, only way I could look in this one. Pelicans also 8-3 last 11 back-to-backs as well. They're 1-4 against the spread last 5 back-to-backs. You got the Sixers. I always worry about their motivation, man. You see the Suns playing the Jazz team with none of their starters. You worry about that. That team knows as well. They probably think it's going to be easy. It's Philly or nothing for me, but I'm not landing 11 with them. So I'd be looking at the under and Pelicans under in that one.
So someone in our chat just asked about Jay, who's the new guy, and I'm wondering, is he for real or is he just being facetious? Is he being funny? How do you not know Jay? He's living under a rock on sports betting Twitter for the last couple of years, but yeah, that's Jay Money. In case if you are for real, it's Jay Money. That's who it is. Wham! What do you think here? Pelicans, Sixers.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy Kyle Hamburg, bro. You already know, man. He on to something. He already know. Embiid. He going against Willie Hernan Gomez. You feel me tonight? You know, maybe they switch off on Thomas Satoransky or Gary Clark, bro. Embiid gonna eat like a motherfucker today, man. I'm on a -11, bro. Don't get me wrong. I do believe that this is a stone cold under, as they said on Jimmy's show earlier today. This is a stone cold under, so I'm right there with you, Jay, on this spot. I just think that this is going to be a little bit overwhelming. I do like Herb Jones. I did have him yesterday. I do expect him to go over whatever his prop is today, but I'm not having no money on it. I'm going to just stay away from that shit because I'm on the other side here. I just think that the Sixers will just come out and whoop their ass. They do have guys out as well. Thybulle's out, Seth Curry's out, Shake Milton out, Danny Green. You're not going to have those guys available. So they still got guys out. They still have guys that's going to be motivated. I do like Tyrese Maxey to get 20+ today for sure. I can see that happening here. As far as the New Orleans, man, like you said though, man, good win. You know, you got Josh Hart double and shit. I wish he was playing today, but nah, we're gonna stay away from the Pelicanos, like my guy Dutch will say, and we're going right there to Philadelphia tonight for sure with -111. I'm sorry, -11 at -110. So that's what I'm rocking with.
All right, good stuff. We go to San Antonio and Houston now. Spurs, 5-point road favorites, 234 being the total in this one. Spurs have lost 3 of their last 4 to the good teams, though, the Suns, the Nets, and the Sixers. They beat Oklahoma City, the one win during that time, 118-96. So they're looking to bounce back here against a Houston team that is suddenly, playing pretty competitive basketball. They already beat San Antonio in San Antonio earlier this month, 128-104. I remember taking the Rockets with the points in the over in that game. Couldn't have been any easier, both of them there, both getting to the window, the win column. They lose to Sacramento the next game, but since then they beat Sacramento in the rematch. They beat Utah in a stunner as a 14-point underdog, 116-111, although that Utah team's got issues right now with who they've been decimated in terms of personnel the last few games. And then Golden State, right down to the wire with the Warriors, 105-103 in their last game. They've got a big rest advantage. They haven't played since that game against Golden State, which was last Friday night. It's hard for me not to look at anything but the Rockets once again here. +5 as home underdogs. They've been undervalued. They're playing some of their most competitive basketball of the year. And, am I ready to trust the Spurs as road favorites with their form right now? No, it is a revenge spot for the Spurs, but I would look to the Rockets. I'd probably look to the over again here, 234. Both of these teams, I trust more their offense than their defense right now. The one thing about the Spurs is DeJounte Murray's been magnificent this year. They've got mostly everybody healthy, White and Keldon Johnson back, and Houston's got everybody healthy, KPJ, Jalen Green, Eric Gordon, Christian Wood. They've got everybody on deck here. So the last meeting flew over the total. I think this one probably will as well. Jay, we'll start with you here. Spurs, Rockets.
Yeah, I'm not in a hurry to go lay 5 with the Spurs, but I am with you there, Ian. I cashed with the Rockets the last game in this scenario, but between these two teams. But this scenario is the exact opposite of the first game. The Spurs were banged up in that one. It was their first game back at the house after that 7-game rodeo road trip that they go on every year. They were still banged up as well. It's Keldon Johnson's first game back. I believe Derek White was still out as well. So and Murray as well. But regardless, in this one, man, revenge spot. They beat them obviously in San Antonio. You got the first game back from a road trip for the Rockets this time around. They come off some big games. I know they kept it close versus the Warriors, but just think about it. They had a couple of days off. I think this team is just going out there hooping right now. They're not necessarily playing towards anything or really even trying to win games. So you never know what you'll get from the Rockets. They could win the game outright. They could also get smacked up by 20. They're 0-2 straight up and against the spread. Last 2 playing on 3 or more days rest, and also 0-4 in the same scenario. And the Spurs, they need a confidence building win and opponent, and that's what they have tonight. The Rockets, a doormat. You look at the lineups here, look at the matchups. The Spurs are basically the exact same team as the Rockets, but just a little bit further on. Obviously, you look at the young guys. I like the matchups for the Spurs more. Spurs, the only way I could look in this one, guys.
All right, like in San Antonio, the money's moved that way, so the money's in agreement with Jay here. San Antonio opened 3.5. They're up to 5 now in this one. Wham, San Antonio, Houston.
Yeah, I kind of understand the look here to San Antonio. I will be looking more so on the props in this game if I was to make a bet. I didn't make any action here in this game, so I'll just keep it quick. I do like Keldon Johnson, though. Over the last 13 games, he's hit over 1.5 3-point makes. I know it's juiced up at -155, -160 in some spots, but I think that's a prop I'm not going to pass up here today. And as far as the pace, I do agree with the total being this high as well. Like you mentioned, Ian, they're 4th in pace, Houston. So I kind of would see them going over this total. It just kind of one of those things, like it's just so fucking high. I got to have these guys score 120 points each. It's just like, man, I'm just stay away from this shit.
By the way, Spurs suck at defending in the paint in the center position.
That's
Christian Wood could be the prop here for me for Houston. I think that might be something I look at. Over points, feast in the paint. Could see that. Could see a good night for Christian Wood here for Houston. We'll see if that's the case.
Real quick, Wood, like, he didn't taking a step back, man. I've been watching the Rockets. This motherfucker airballing threes and shit. I hate to say it, but I think he's one of those guys that balled out before they got paid. Then they got paid, and motherfuckers start putting the work in, bro. So I
agree.
can't stand
Current
it.
form.
That's the new age of
form,
NBA, but Wood is not that guy right now.
Wood is not good right now for the Houston Rockets right now. But it does have a favorable matchup. That's just something I've noticed, Jay, is that they struggle against the 5 spot defensively,
point.
the San Antonio Spurs this year. Will that be the case tonight against Christian Wood? If it is, it's in theory a matchup Wood should produce, but you're right. He's not been in terrific Christian Wood form lately. Dutch, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, man. I don't know about you, Ian, but my would be good, bro. Real good. But yeah,
What the fuck? Hold on, dog.
Big shot, big shot.
Slow that down.
No, not like that. Look at Wham. I always try to think his. Hey, big shout out to Michael Murphy, oh my God, Mr. Brosco. But yeah, man, this is a clear backwood for me. I got backwood this motherfucker.
I got to keep getting used to Big Show drunk on the sound effects in the background on this show on a regular basis.
He's coming with them, some different
He's
ones.
coming with the heat here, Big Show. Yeah, I got to keep. I'm like, what are these sounds? These people screaming and
Yeah, he
these,
forced that one. He forced that last one there.
Big Show on the ones and
He
twos.
forced
That's
it.
what it is. But no, great stuff. Way to go, Show. It's a nice little addition to the show. Makes it even more fun and entertaining. Dallas and Golden State. Golden State 3.5 point home favorites, 211 the total in this game. I like the Dallas side, to be quite honest with you. I like the way the Mavericks are trending right now. I like the way they're playing defense. The Warriors have been hit or miss. Steve Kerr doesn't sound like a coach that's full of confidence or loving the way his team's playing at the moment. And look, right now, even the great teams like Golden State, they can go through a little malaise, and that's what they're in right now. They get blown out by Minnesota, blown out by Milwaukee. They did beat Detroit handily, but they lose that surprising one to the Pacers. They barely escaped past the Houston Rockets the very next night. And even against Utah, very depleted, just get past them 94-92 on Sunday night. So it's Warriors definitely not playing their absolute best. Draymond Green remains out with that calf injury. They're being very careful right now with Klay Thompson, who was rested the last game. Against Utah. We'll see if he returns tonight. Right now, they've got him as a game time decision, questionable. He didn't practice yesterday for the Warriors, so keep that in mind. It kind of makes you think we might not see Klay tonight for the Golden State Warriors. Dallas, on the other hand, I like the way they've been trending for sure. They've been one of the best teams in the NBA, I would say, the last 3 to 4 weeks. They've done it with defense. They've done it with both Luka Doncic, Luka the Don, and Kristaps Porzingis on the floor at the same time. We haven't been able to say that a lot for the last 2-3 years, especially with Porzingis. That guy's on the injury report, it seems, every game for the entirety of his career. But finally, he stayed healthy. And look, you're seeing that 1-2 combination right now be good. Jalen Brunson keeps on getting better for this Mavericks team. There's just a lot to like, and they're digging in and playing good defensively. They got a key player back in their starting rotation in Maxi Kleber. As well. I think he's definitely undervalued, underrated player. I think they're very live in this game, and I think this is one of those statement-type games for Dallas, kind of like when they ended Memphis's crazy win streak just recently. So I like the Mavs here getting 3.5 in this one. Dutch, Dallas, Golden State.
Yeah, man. I actually really like Dallas here. I can't lie to you. I see the chat going in, man. Hey, say what you will, motherfuckers. That was meant for the ladies, man. You motherfucking homo motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? See, when you like me, you don't got to worry about none of that shit. Cause comfortable with yourself. But I see y'all motherfuckers.
Talk that shit.
Hey,
Talk that shit.
That's right.
Yeah, but talk about this bread, and it's only right. You know what I'm saying? Since we got one of the stars from Dallas here, that we got the Mavericks tonight, and I'm looking to eat up on this shit. Real talk. I can't lie. I'm fading the Warriors here. I know a lot of motherfuckers be on the Warriors, but I like Dallas here. I ain't gonna lie. The eye test is mainly what I'm looking at, and I don't really like what I see from the Warriors. But when you look into it a little more, we talk about the Mavericks. They're 3-0 straight up. Last 3 meetings versus these boys. 5-1 ATS. Last 6 versus a team with a winning percentage of 60% or better. So they play up to the competition. I do believe they will have the best player on the court tonight, and Luka the motherfucking Don. That's right, I said it. The Warriors are 0-6-1 last 0-6-1 ATS last 7 after a win. 1-6-1 ATS last 8 playing on 1 day's rest. And like I mentioned, I don't like what I see from the Warriors. I know Klay's back. That's affecting Andrew Wiggins. It's the same thing kind of we talked about in Brooklyn with Mills and Kyrie. It's the same thing. When Klay's out there, he's not a role player. He's going to affects the way Andrew Wiggins plays. He's in and out. Obviously, we know that Draymond hasn't been out there, and they're not the same team without Draymond. And I low blow after low blow with Draymond's ass, but you can't overlook what the team that they put out without him in the lineup. So I don't believe they can protect the paint. I don't like Looney really from a defensive perspective. I don't like anything they bring off the bench from a defensive perspective to protect the paint. So I look for Luka to do what he wants, and attack, have a big game. I love the 3.5 with the Mavs, and I love Luka over 26.5 points. Averaged 35 points last three. We're starting to see the old Luka a little bit the last 3 games. Had 26 points against these boys earlier, and a 17-point win earlier this month, actually. And the prior 2 meetings to that, and it was a 17-point blowout, and he had 26 pretty easy. Prior 2 meetings to that, motherfucker averaged 40 points per game against these cats. We know this game's on TNT. We know there's going to be the Curry to Luka. Luka will show out 30-plus tonight, and I expect these boys to actually get out of Golden State with the W.
And they've played well in this building, the new Chase Center that opened up in San Francisco after they moved out of Old Oracle in Oakland. They've played well here, Dallas, for sure. Jay, Dallas, Golden State.
Yeah, the Mavs hadn't lost a single game in that Chase Center over there, to be honest with you. So it's kind of crazy because they actually kind of own these motherfuckers the last 10 games. 8-2 against the spread last 10 meetings, won 7 of 8 of them straight up. This is a revenge spot in theory. The Mavs beat them on the +4.5. I was all over them that night. They had Draymond Green, didn't matter. 99-82 on national TV. We smacked them up. Now you got the line coming down to 2.5 for the Warriors. Line is all over the Mavs in this one. Obviously, it's no Draymond this time around, but the Warriors don't look right now. I mean, they're 2-5-1 against the spread last 8 games, 0-6-1 ATS last 7 after a win, like Dutch said. It's Mavs or nothing for me. Unfortunately, it's the late night TNT game. I hate betting these games because it seems like everybody on one side loses. But in all honesty, I'm putting some of my Mavs here +3.5. Call it fanboy, whatever. They pretty much own the Warriors here of late. So I'm rocking with the Mavs. And Ian, you could just keep going because Ian just stating all the points why the Mavs are nice, man. These motherfuckers, they won 11 of the last 13 games. They hot right now. They got the best defense in the league over the last 15 games, 5 games, 10 games, whatever you want to look at. Mavs playing some really good defense right now. It's hard to beat them when they're really hitting their stride right now. I like the Mavs in this one, my guys.
Yeah, number 1 in defensive efficiency in the NBA, Dallas, the last 5 games. Golden State is number 1 for the season, but for the last 5 games, Golden State has dropped to 8th in defensive efficiency. Again, that coincides with Draymond Green being out as well. That's definitely hurt them at the defensive end. Wham, what do you think here?
Yeah, man, it's just one of those things, bro. We got to just fade the Golden State Warriors out. Sad to say it. This is probably the lowest total as well that you've ever seen this year for the Golden State Warriors at the house. I mean, they're known for putting up points. This is a pretty low total. I think that they expect a lot of defense here, and that's mean this is going to be dictated on the other side for the Dallas, like you guys mentioned. So I am on Dallas here. It's so crazy. It's crazy, and it's just like the destiny that we have my guy in here. And I bet this before I even knew he was here. You feel what I'm saying? So it's only right here, bro. Like my guy Des said, I think the plus money line, like someone asked, is a plus money line. I split it, bro. I put a unit on each. This would have been a 2-unit play on the money line, but I think the +4 is just too good to pass up here. So I took the +4 as well. I think that you're going to see defense on Curry, like you guys mentioned. They're buying into the culture with Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd needs to get some of his flowers, bro. They give Luka what he wants, and he delivers. You know what I'm saying? And I do think TNT do still blesses the Luka supporters here. Luka loves TNT. We keep saying it here. We're going to keep preaching that today. And I think he balls out today. As far as his points, I don't like his points. I like the rebounds. It's at 8.5. That's the way I'm rocking here with this play. That is an official play for me. But other than that, that's pretty much it as far as, like you guys mentioned, how great the defense is for Dallas. And then just how bad the offense has really been without Draymond. I mean, it's bottom 5 without Draymond so far. So without him, it's going to be tough. So until he comes back, until they get Wiseman, something happens here, I think you're going to continue to see these guys struggle, especially when Klay is still not himself.
And Steph Curry is 35% overall, and just a Steph Curry like 27% from 3-point range in the last 10 games, which is not at all what we become.
His field goal percentage is worse than Russell Westbrook's, bro.
Damn. Yeah, Ian. I was gonna say that Curry is not in a. It almost seemed like to me, man, after he got the record, he just seemed a little fat and happy. Literally, I've noticed it ever since then. So Curry's not right. The Warriors not right. I'd be in the business of fading them, man. They have been covering spreads for their backers as well.
Yeah, and Mark, thank you for the $5 dono. We appreciate that. Thanks for the dono. 348 live viewers. Hit the like button. We roll to the final game on this Tuesday card now, Minnesota and Portland. Minnesota 3-point road favorites, 233 the total. I've only got a few minutes left, so I'll keep this brief. Price is cheap to back the better team. You know I've been the Minnesota fan club guy all year on this show. I've backed them a shit ton. And
Let's fucking go. Let's
there you
go.
go.
Oh, let's go.
Minnesota Timberwolves for me, -3. Brutal spot for Portland, too. Brutal spot off a long road trip. They ended it with a couple of wins, still banged up as well. You're looking at Nasir Little game time decision, Robert Covington game time decision, Lillard still out. They are going to get Norm Powell back, so some good news there. But tough spot, long road trip, cheap price. Minnesota's rolling. Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, they're balling. Pat Bev might come back from an ankle injury tonight as well. Minnesota -3. They're the better team in the better spot. Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
I'm raising my hand. Goddamn, I was raised by Wolves. I don't know if y'all know, man. I love this Timberwolves team. And them there. I'm not gonna say every time I take them they cash, but this is another trifecta spot, man. Early and often, they're 4-1 against the spread last 5 in Portland. They got the major rest advantage as well. Before their last game, they had 3 days off, so only the second game in 5 days, man. You got the Blazers. These motherfuckers been all over this place, man. They off a 6-game East Coast road trip. They went 4-2 straight up and against the spread those games, so it's not like they're coming back to the house in need of a win. I think I always say this, man. First game back at the house, you gotta go check the missus, man. You gotta go take care of the wife, girlfriend, probably side piece, whatever, man. We'll get tired legs tonight. The Timberwolves beat them earlier this year, December 12th, 111, 116. They were getting 3 points in that game. Now they're laying 3 on the road. This line is all over the Timberwolves. The odds makers are telling you a damn good story here. Like I said, they got the major bench advantage as well. They're over the last 5 games, Timberwolves number 8 in bench scoring. The Blazers 28th. In net rating for the bench, 7th for the Timberwolves, dead last for the Blazers here. They're very top heavy. I think they run out of gas. Terrible spot. Timberwolves, first quarter, first half, full game. We howling with the
all
Wolves.
3 of them. First quarter, first half, full game for Minnesota. I did bet over 228.5 as well, but that total's gone all the way up to 233. So I'd pump the brakes now a little bit where the number is right now. Dutch, Wolves, and Blazers.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to JPZ for the $5 dono, man. Much love, bro. Yeah, I can't lie. I think I got so motherfucking happy about these Mavericks and Luka the motherfucking Don. I didn't even notice this last game. But everything Jay was speaking sounded pretty damn good to me. So I might just go to the window with the Timberwolves. I definitely wouldn't look the other way.
Yeah, definitely. Wham, go ahead.
Yeah, man, we're going to have to keep this going. At first, in Jimmy's show, I was like, I'm going to wait for this game. This is one of those games we're going to hop on later on. Maybe I have some action in. I wasn't thinking the other side. I was thinking more so on the props now, bro. The way he's talking, and making me looking at some points. The first half sounds like the play, bro. In the full game, the trifecta spot this might be Smack City, man. My guy here for a reason, and this is the one. So I appreciate you for the information, bro. 9-1, the last 10 first half covers, bro. I got to be on that, bro. So I'm right there with you, bro. I appreciate you.
There you go. All right. Great show. And great to have Jay Money on the NBA Pub Hub for the first time on this Tuesday. Thanks to everyone in the chat. 347 live viewers. Hit the like button. Remember, we got Net Profit College basketball coming up on Pub Sports Radio right after us with Connor Mack and Maxwell Smart. We got best bets to wrap up the show and Dutch's freshest look coming up right after this. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Check it out, Southtown 101. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase, Lawnmower 4.0 or any Manscaped product. 20% off with promo code PubSports and mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. NBA, college basketball, NHL, down to the NFL Final Four, Super Bowl in a few weeks, UFC, you name it. Great time of year. Sign up for an account at mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. Mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. And there's the Pub Rub. Get it at the website, $14.99 or 2 for $25. Check it out, pubsportsradio.com. All right, time for best bets and Dutch's freshest look. Jay, you're the special guest, first time on the show. It's only right to start with you, Jay. Best bet.
Man, I sure appreciate y'all. I'll come on anytime. Best bets. I'm gonna give you 3 of them. Minnesota Timberwolves first quarter -1. We're going with first half as well, -1.5, and full game -3. I love this game. It's my best spot of the day. Let's cash it, guys. We raised by Wolves.
There you go. Minnesota Timberwolves, 3 ways for Jay Money with his first best bet here on the NBA Pub Up. Dutch, freshest look.
Yeah, man. Freshest look, we're going to the Bay, but we're going to look the other way. Luka the motherfucking Don, over 26.5 points. Yeah, I know we in the state, but this shit right here is gold. Yeah, man.
There you go. Luka the Don to do what he does, and that's usually tear it up on a national TV game. Luka the Don for the Dallas Mavericks, player prop, freshest look for Dutch. Wham, best bet.
Yeah, man. Let's go back to the Bay, man, where my guy Chef Curry, he may hear the yee, but he out there cooking without no meat. We're gonna go with the Dallas Mavericks money line and +4. Best bet today, baby.
There you go. Dallas plus 3.5 for Wham with his best bet on this card. My best bet, I'm going to go right back to the game Jay is on. It was my best bet coming into the show. It still is. It's Minnesota minus the 3, minus the spot against Portland. There you go. Timberwolves. I think they're my number 1 team in terms of plus units of profitability this year. Let's see if we can add to it. Minnesota -3 against Portland for my best bet for this Tuesday NBA card. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone for joining us. We appreciate it. Net Profit College Basketball Show coming up now on Pub Sports Radio. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. For Jay Money, our special guest, as well as Dutch and Wham, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll talk to you again tomorrow on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for another edition of the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. You know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video if you can. You already know we went in. I'm coming out with the motherfucking bet. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay put these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah.